Well, it has been an interesting few days here. We left the harbor, which was awesome. Came around the corner to this little anchorage called Mala on the other side of town. Dropped the anchor, hung out, kind of got a few things organized on the boat. We tried to take off out of there, and that didn't work so well. As we were getting ready to go, I was hauling up the anchor here with this foot switch. Windlass is here. It's a nice big 33 kilo rock nut and 3/8 inch chain I was hauling up. Almost had it off the bottom and it stopped working. Turns out the foot switch totally burned up, melted the cables off underneath. Pulled everything out, made sure the boat wasn't on fire, and it wasn't. So we hauled up the rest of the chain by hand and decided to keep on going. It's kind of interesting around here, the islands here. Unique sailing. We're in the lee behind the trade winds, and as the winds come over the islands and funnel through the islands, the channels between the islands get super windy. It's kind of like those acceleration zones. So it was pretty dead wind. We had the 140 Genoa out, full main up. As we got close to the wind line, the wind really picked up. We're not quite used to sailing with hank-on sails. We probably shouldn't have had the 140 Genoa out, but we were literally not moving without it. With a smaller sail on, we wouldn't have been moving at all. We're hardly moving with the Genoa. As we went to try and take the Genoa down to drop it, got caught on the spreaders and put a little rip in the sail. So after all that, we turned around, we came on back, decided not to continue on. We were planning on heading over to Molokai, a little anchorage over there, about, 20-30 miles, something like that. Decided to come around, turn back. There's a spare mooring over here, so we're a bit closer. We paddle in over that direction somewhere. There's a little boat ramp. Really nice that the people let us tie up to it, since we have a non-working windlass now. And we didn't tell you, but the other day, one of the oars snapped. This Walker Bay dinghy back here does not currently have any oar locks on it. The oars were lashed to it. Well, the paddle broke off one of the oars while we were trying to row it to shore in the wind. Luckily, it wasn't too hard for us to get back to the boat. But an oar with this on the end is pretty hard to row. There is a kayak paddle on board. So the kayak paddle, tie up front, and me in the back, kind of with the spare oar as a rudder / sculling, is how we get to shore. So needless to say, it's nice to be on this mooring and about half the distance that we were anchored out. What else is going on? Yesterday we went into town. We needed to get a mailbox so we can get stuff shipped here. And that turned out to be a huge hassle. They didn't want to give it to us because we weren't residents of Hawaii. They go back and forth a few times, but finally we got a mailbox set up. So we ordered some oar locks, some oar stands, and some oars that we just found out are delayed in shipping.
And then we went to a metal fabrication place as well to see about
the swim ladder. I haven't told you guys about the swim ladder yet.
Yeah, it's not, well, we know it's not Mexico, but it's nowhere near Mexico prices here. What we'd get done for a couple of bucks in Mexico would probably cost us $400 to $500 here.
Yep. So I'll go up and show you guys the swim ladder. On the boat, we inherited a nice swim ladder, but the attachment points where we would connect it to the boat have been broken off, making it unusable for the time being. Over the last few days, we've done a lot of cleaning and sorting. There's obviously still a lot of stuff on this boat. This boat needs to really just be stripped out, really good clean. I've started with the galley area just so we can have like a clean space to cook. Kind of got that halfway cleaned out. But as you can probably tell looking around, there's a lot of stuff everywhere on the boat, so that will be our next big challenge, is getting that kind of sorted out and organized, as well as finding an autopilot is kind of our big thing.
I don't have a mustache too. The autopilots we have some components of a very old auto helm, a Raytheon auto helm, ST7000 with some control heads, 6000 control heads and so on, and we're not really sure what, if any, of it works. We're hoping right now we can use the actual linear drive unit. So this is the linear drive unit for the old auto helm. I don't know if it works, it doesn't sound great, but I think we can service this if it works. Figure out how it works, plug it in or something like that. We have a very old autopilot that we've almost located all the parts. I haven't found the rudder sensing unit, but there is an old auto helm 7000 Raytheon with like some control heads, like 6000 control heads and stuff, and just bits and pieces everywhere. None of it's connected, probably because it doesn't work. From what I understand, the control computers go out a lot, and we haven't really been able to find. I found one maybe on like eBay, but there's no guarantee if that's going to work or not. So what we're thinking of doing is using this here, which is the linear drive unit. This is the part that actually drives your, steers the boat basically, right? And then this all hooks up to the computers and stuff that tells it what to do. And we've got a couple of options there. One we were thinking of would be replacing that altogether and getting like an Alpha autopilot out of Seattle, which has a different type of drive unit, or possibly reusing this bit, which would be the cheaper option, and then just ordering another autopilot system, which probably best would be just to use another Raymarine type one. But we're undecided on that yet. It's a big purchase for something we're not really sure how to make work, but we don't really want to have to spend, you know, these here are a good couple of $1,000 just for this drive unit. So if this works, then it'd be great to be able to use it. Got to get laundry done wherever you are.
Laundry.
We're up here. I don't even know where we are. We're kind of on the main road.
Yeah. Little 24-hour coin laundry place.
It's a bit of a walk in the heat, but it's really not that far with our backpacks and all.
No. We were able to fit it all in the small washer today. The first day we did laundry, it was expensive.
But now we're out of underwear and we need clean underwear.
It's important.
It's very hot and sweaty here, and you can only wear that pair of underwear for like 5 days here, and then it's just no good anymore. So
Ew.
and we're gonna head down to the post office box that we got the other day.
Go pick up some things that arrived that we ordered.
Finally, we ordered a couple of things that'll hopefully make us feel a bit better. We've got a foot switch coming in that needs to help us fix our windlass that burnt up and tried to catch the boat on fire.
Hopefully it's just a foot switch that needs replacing, and then it'll be good to go.
And then we also have an dinghy issue, as we always do. So we have some oar and oar stands coming. Unfortunately, there was a delay on that, I believe, due to the hurricane on the east coast.
Oars should be coming in a few days' time. They were like 3 days delayed, but we should have oar stands and oar locks there. So we'll go check out, see what we got.
That'll make our rowing so much better, because right now
it is. We haven't been able to get any video because it's
painful
both
on
of
the
us,
knees.
all hands.
Hillary runs rudder on the back with the last oar we have, and I'm using the kayak paddle.
And I kind of scull a little bit like opposite you, and then your kayak
keep us in the right
paddling
direction.
up front. It's kind of wet.
It's okay when there's not much breeze, but when the breeze picks up, it's a bloody nightmare. Thankfully, we're on a mooring right now, thanks to a kind local guy. So
yeah.
Once we get the foot switch fixed, we'll probably move back out on anchor. But we'll drag that out, I think, until the oars show up.
We'll wait until we get the oars. At the post office.
Okay. That one. Key within a key. New windlass switch. At least we got the edges right, it showed up. Over there. dealing with crappy installations as always. So when we bought the boat, the stanchion here was broken off of this base, and the support base was completely broken off, so that's obviously no good. And we've been trying to get this out for days. We thought it was through bolted, but we couldn't get in behind where it's all sealed off. I don't think it is through bolted, but this is the fasteners they're using, and as always there's one that will not come out at all. I can't figure out why. So I was just trying to check for through bolts, but these holes don't go all the way through. I think these ones where I've got the block off, there's a metal thread somehow embedded in here or something.
One of our main projects that we knew we were going to have here is an autopilot. There's no working autopilot on this boat. There were parts for an old one that we were going to see if we could get to work.
Well, the problem was us, or the battery bank rather. We didn't have 12 volts running through it. This is a separate battery bank up forward for the windlass, 2 6-volt golf cart batteries.
Yay. Sounds like it works.
At the moment. So we got to learn a little bit about these linear drives from our friends on SV Nutshell. A couple of Aussies on a Hans Christian 43 rider.
Yeah, in Chiapas.
In Chiapas, and they're heading up to the Sierra Cortez this summer, or this winter rather. But he's done a lot of work with the Raymarines for like 30-something years, and he gave us a lot of good tips. Basically now we've got the clutch here engaged, which engages the linear drive, and then when we reverse the polarity it'll change. So we've got a positive negative here. That retracts the arm, and then you just reverse the polarity. Obviously this is normally done automatically, and that will extend the arm. Pretty basic.
And it works, so that's a good thing.
It's a big saving.
One thing went right.
$2,500. So this is the clutch wire that engages the arm. Once you apply power to this, you should hear a click, and that's the clutch engaging. So have a listen. There you go. And then it disengages. So engage, disengage.
Next project is the windlass switch. It's a little melted.
Hope this is the right switch.
Let's hope so.
Didn't really have any options. So. Yuck.
A lot of butyl.
A lot of old butyl. Look at that. Melty, melty.
Luckily, installing the new switch went just as easily as you hope every project should go on a boat, which we've learned is pretty rare. Celebrating a project done, we enjoyed a beautiful double rainbow over the hills of Maui as the sun went down, and I began to assess the damage on our ripped Genoa. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge thanks to our patron Adrift crew, who keep these videos coming. Please be sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and come join us next week as we start to check some more projects off the list and get ready to leave Maui. Until next time, aloha!